I want to welcome you to yet another session for our post-Cabinet press briefing. To lead us in this session is our Chair, Honorable Mswere, Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services. Over to you, Chair.
Thank you, Chief Secretary. Thank you, members of the Fourth Estate. Cabinet considered an update on the summer and winter crops marketing as presented by the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Honorable Dr. A.J. Masuka. The nation is informed that maize and traditional grain stocks at the Grain Marketing Board as at 29 October 2023 stood at 200,245 metric tons and 48,243 metric tons of maize and traditional grains respectively. Using the monthly consumption rate of 23,000 metric tons, the available grain will last us 10.8 months. Wheat stocks as at 29 October 2023 stood at 198,104 metric tons, and wheat stocks can last up to 9.4 months at an average monthly drawdown rate of 21,000 metric tons. A total of $46 billion and $13 million US was paid by the Grain Marketing Board for grain delivered. On winter wheat, Cabinet advises that the area planted in terms of wheat stood at 90,192 hectares, and the estimated harvest is 440,000 metric tons. Wheat harvesting is still in progress, while 48,459 hectares have been harvested to date, with a volume of 267,747 metric tons harvested to date. Cabinet also received an update on the preparations of the 2023 to 2024 summer season as presented by the Honorable Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Honorable Dr. Anxious J. Masuka. The nation is informed that the country is targeting to produce 2,800,000 metric tons of maize, 120,000 metric tons of soybeans, 150,000 metric tons of sunflower, 350,000 metric tons of sorghum, 92,000 metric tons of millet, and 270,000 metric tons of cotton during the 2023 to 2024 summer season. Production will be under various funding mechanisms, which also includes the Pfumvudza Intwasa program, government facilitated bank financing, private sector initiatives, and self-financing models. Seed is readily available for all these crops, with about 40.8% being early to ultra early maturity varieties. Government and seed associations have released the crop and variety suitability information to assist all stakeholders in the selection of the appropriate varieties for the respective agroecological zones. And all this information on the suitable varieties per region is available at all agricultural extension offices. Regarding fertilizers, the current local stock stands at 84,146 metric tons, and consultations are underway to forestall any shortages. The nation is informed that there has been substantial progress in the establishment of farmer field schools, which will enhance farmer training. Plot preparation under the Pfumvudza in Twasa program is being accelerated with a target to complete 3 plots per farmer by the extended deadline of 15 November 2023. And the country expects to surpass previous year records, which is over 3.8 million plots which have already been prepared and which is higher than the previous seasons. A total of 13,628 tractors are available for tillage, and this fleet is sufficient for the targeted area. The nation is further informed that 70,316 hectares has been tentatively committed for the maize production under irrigation, with a potential yield of up to 500,000 metric tons. Dam storage levels are currently at an average of 78.8% in terms of total capacity. The Minister of Health and Childcare, Honorable Dr. Douglas Mombeshora, updated Cabinet on the cholera challenges. In response to the cholera challenges, 14 bores were drilled in Buera, Chimanimani, and Zaka through a bore drilling project under the Ministry of Health and Childcare. Cabinet would like to inform the nation that health education on cholera prevention and control measures, including hygiene promotion, is ongoing in all provinces, and health educators in affected communities have been trained to also facilitate surveillance and risk communication. Door-to-door cholera campaigns are being utilized in all provinces. Cabinet would like to further reiterate the additional measures as follows: that continued intensified risk communication and community engagement, including involvement of religious and local leadership, the intensification of school health education on cholera and other diarrheal diseases, and the utilization of existing media houses and digital platforms for content dissemination are being accelerated, and that there will be an improvement in terms of the rehabilitation of bores and also the drilling of new bores, and that public health measures will be enforced in all communities reporting cholera cases, including restriction of gatherings in all cholera affected areas and the supervision of all burials in all cholera affected areas. Cabinet considered and adopted the measures to address Harare's water supply challenges as presented by the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Honorable Dr. A.J. Masuka. Cabinet would like to advise that a technical committee to improve the water supply situation in the city of Harare and to resolve the challenges currently affecting the city has been put in place. Cabinet reports that in order to increase water production to 520 megaliters per day, there is need to supply water treatment chemicals, the rehabilitation works at Morton Jeffrey Waterworks, the rehabilitation and maintenance of Prince Edward Waterworks, and the drilling of 312 bores which have so far been put in place in order to augment water supply has been put in place. Cabinet would like to report that in order to ensure an improvement in terms of potable water supply coverage to the city from 40% to 60%. There is need to rehabilitate water production at Morton Jeffrey and Prince Edward Works, and this will boost production capacity from the current 300 megalitres per day to 520 megalitres per day. The nation is informed that in order to reduce non-revenue water from 59% to 55%, the replacement of pipes, meters and pressure release valves in addition to the distribution networks will be prioritized. Furthermore, in order to improve sanitation and to reduce sewer leakages and increase water treatment, and also in order to ensure that we generate 520 megalitres per day, the following projects will be prioritized: the upgrading of the Mbare main sewer, the rehabilitation of sewage works, the rehabilitation of sewer trunk mains, the rehabilitation of BNR at Krobro sewage works, and the repairs at Maubra. The objective would be to increase sewage collection and also to increase wastewater treatment to 50 megalitres per day. Cabinet reports that the water production levels are improving, and this is attributed to improved supply of chemicals. Production will further improve if the suggested associated technical interventions are implemented. And additionally, the commitment by the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development and Investment Promotion will facilitate access to funds in order to support the proposals, which will go a long way in order to achieve the targets set by the government of Zimbabwe. Cabinet also received reports on progress made in the implementation of priority projects for the third 100-day cycle of the year 2023, as presented by the Ministers of Finance and Economic Development and Investment Promotion, the Minister of Transport and Infrastructural Development, the Minister of Mines and Mining Development, the Minister of Environment, Climate and Wildlife, and the Minister of Tourism and Hospitality Industry. The Minister of Transport and Infrastructural Development, Honorable Felix Mona, reported on the progress recorded for projects under his purview as follows: that the contractor for the rehabilitation of the old international terminal building at the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport has been completed, and a needs assessment is started the rewiring for electricity and electronics and the replacement of partitions and ceilings, and progress at the old terminal has reached 4%. 461.5 kilometers of the Harare-Masvingo Bight Bridge Road has been completed and has been opened to traffic, leaving 118 kilometers to be completed. The Mbudzi Interchange project has reached 54% in terms of completion. Regarding the targeted 20 kilometers of the Harare-Kanyemba construction, 15 kilometers of the second level base has been completed, whilst progress of the other 5 kilometers is above 40%. The construction and upgrading of the targeted 5 kilometers on the Bulawayo-Yonkai Road has been completed in terms of base 1 level. The Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Honorable Soda Jemu, reported progress on the projects under his purview as follows: the construction of the Disco Carbon Steel Plant in Mashonaland East and Midlands provinces, which will produce 600,000 tons of carbon steel per annum, is underway and is targeted for completion in December 2023. Phase 1 of the project will generate 600 million United States dollars per annum and will employ about 2,000 people. The construction of the Dinson Colliery Coke Oven Battery has reached 95% in terms of completion, and the targeted date in terms of completion is December 2023. On the establishment of the Zmasco High Carbon Ferrochrome Smelter, Furnace 1 is fully operational and it has employed 87 people. Furnace 2 was commissioned in June 2023, employing 173 people. Furnaces 7 and 8 will be commissioned on 31 December 2023, while the sinter plant will be commissioned in March 2024. Regarding the expansion of the Pigston mine, the South Well shaft has been completed and 270 people are employed for underground operations, while completion of phase 1 of the shaft is expected in April 2024. The Karo Platinum Mine at Selous in Mashonaland West Province is expected to commence production in June 2025 and will employ 850 people. The Minister of Finance and Economic Development and Investment Promotion, Honorable Professor Mthuli Ncube, reported on progress recorded on projects under his purview, key among which are the following: success stories. Tax revenues amounting to 2.7 trillion Zimbabwean dollars and non-taxable revenues amounting to Zimbabwean dollars 6.3 billion was mobilized for the month by September 2023. Actual expenditures on employment costs amounting to 1 trillion Zimbabwean dollars for the month of September 2023, and payments reflecting the recent reviews awarded in July 2023 and the 2,500 teachers recruited in the month of September 2023. 867 billion Zimbabwean dollars was disbursed towards social protection, exceeding the target by 18%. Resources amounting to 555.5 billion Zimbabwean dollars were disbursed towards the following projects: Hwange 7 and 8 road rehabilitation projects, dam construction projects, strategic grain reserve, education and health, housing development projects, ICT and other capital expenditure projects, including capacitating government ministries. The Minister of Environment, Climate and Wildlife, Honorable Mangaliso Ndlovu, reported on the progress in terms of achievements as follows: the installation of the wood drying kiln machine at Kasho Valley in Chimanimani, which is at 50% in terms of completion; progress on the revival of the Gutu tree nursery in Masvingo Province, which is at 25%; the Gonarejo water rehabilitation project, which is at 80% in terms of completion; and the construction of the Chimanimani and the Muzarabani district offices, which is at 25% in terms of completion, and the Zaka district offices, which is at 60% in terms of completion. The Minister of Tourism and Hospitality Industry, Honorable Barbara Rodzi, briefed Cabinet on the 8th United Nations World Tourism Organization World Forum on Gastronomy Tourism, held in Spain from the 5th to the 7th of October 2023. The nation is informed that the First Lady, Dr. A. Mnangagwa, led the Zimbabwean delegation to the forum, which was held under the theme gastronomy tourism back to the roots. The forum was aimed at promoting the exchange of experiences between experts in tourism and gastronomy, as well as identifying good practices and promoting gastronomy tourism as a driver for economic and sustainable development, as well as community empowerment. Gastronomy tourism is the exploration of food as the purpose of tourism. The nation is informed that Zimbabwe had an opportunity to participate with 3 other countries, which is Saudi Arabia, Portugal, and Botswana, in the first ever culinary plaza of the forum. The Zimbabwean stand was popular as people flocked to taste the signature dish termed Gapura Amai, which was extracted from Amai's cookout book. Given that gastronomy tourism is providing a new tourism frontier for the country, which is also a promising marketing brand for Zimbabwe, Cabinet has decided to develop a gastronomy strategy to guide the development of the sector, and all stakeholders are urged to participate in the actual formulation through the Ministry of Tourism and Hospitality Industry. The Minister of Tourism and Hospitality Industry, Honorable Barbara Rodzi, reported on the 16th edition of the Sanganai Hlanganani World Tourism Expo. Cabinet would like to advise that the 16th edition of the Sanganai Hlanganani World Tourism Expo was held successfully at the Zimbabwe International Exhibition Center from the 12th to the 14th of October 2023. And the success is demonstrated by a 37% increase in terms of exhibitor participation from the previous year, 2022. A total of 375 exhibitors participated at this year's exhibition compared to 275 in the year 2022. Out of the 375 exhibitors, 34 were foreign exhibitors, and additionally, 47 exhibitors participated for the first time at this year's expo. Another indicator of success was that a total of 39 SMEs, including the participation of women and youth organizations at this year's travel expo, was accelerated. Exhibitors were generally satisfied with the business generated at the fair, with 81% of the respondents indicating that the expo had facilitated the establishment of meaningful contacts and business prospects. The nation is informed that the Sanganai Hlanganani had hosted the investment conference, which registered 250 participants, career guidance 280, and the aviation conference, which also included 200 participants. The Minister of Tourism and Hospitality Industry had also hosted a meet and greet tourism breakfast, which registered 250 participants, mainly from the private sector. The enabler departments and the representatives from provinces and the rural district councils. The increase in business at the 2023 Sanganai Hlanganani Expo provides a good reason for increasing the levels of investment in tourism facilities, particularly conferencing and exhibition facilities. Thank you.